Good morning. It is Sunday, August 3rd, the Daily Echo, Super Sunday. I'm actually taping this on Saturday night, so I'm a little bit grubbed out in my cap and my beard and my whiskers growing a little bit. Had a great day today, as you can look up in the corner there. That's the newest addition to the family, my newest niece, Leah, and my little sister Christy did great yesterday. We're excited to have her in our family. That caught me to think as I was driving back home from their house a couple hours away about our children. And I have 5 children of my own, a lot of nephews and nieces, and a lot of kids around us. And it made me think about some of the things that we're doing, and it made me reflect upon a book that I think is really important for parents to read. And it's titled Raising Positive Kids in a Negative World by Zig Ziglar. He wrote this book back in 2002, and I want to read a couple things because I think it's vital and it's important to understand as parents and also just as mentors of other children, some of the things that we're doing and we're allowing to happen in our society right now that I think is really affecting our children. But Zig in the beginning of the book talks about 1940, and he says the top offenses in public school were as follows: running in the hallways, chewing gum, wearing improper clothing, which would include leaving a shirt tail out, making noise, and not putting paper in the wastebasket. So 1940, we go back about 75 years. That's the top offenses. Now this is 2002, so it's changed a little bit. The top offenses in the public schools are as follows, and it's not always in this order: murder, rape, robbery, assault, personal theft, burglary, drug abuse, arson, bombings, alcohol abuse, carrying weapons, absenteeism, vandalism, and extortions. Since 13 of these are felonies, not a great deal of comment is necessary except to say that times and conditions have changed. And that leads me to the bulk of the discussion today and what I believe is one of the silent killers and the silent detriments of our children. And every one of us probably watching this has 1, 2, 3, 4 in our household, and that's the television. And I think that it's really important. We've talked about on the Daily Echo, we get what we put out there, we reap what we sow. And it would be absolutely very unwise to think that we can allow a child to sit in front of this device for hours a day and it not to impact them one way or another. I want to give you some statistics on aggressive and violent behavior that a child will see. An average American child will see 200,000 violent acts and 16,000 murders on TV by the age of 18. 2/3 of all programming now on TV contains violence. Programs designed for children more often contain violence than adult TV. Most violent acts go unpunished on TV and are often accompanied by humor. The consequences of human suffering and loss are rarely depicted. And there's a list of probably 20 of these. As we move into moral issues, it's probably worse what we're allowing to happen and allowing children to see. And so our children are learning these things, and the average child from about 2 to 6 spends about 2 hours a day in front of the TV, and it goes up from there. By the time we hit 14 to 16, our teenagers are spending 4 to 6 hours either in front of a TV or in front of a computer monitor. It's led to much higher increases of obesity. We're seeing inability to learn. We're seeing ADD and ADHD incredibly on the rise once TV has been instituted. So I think it's really important as parents, as I reflect on my new niece today and in raising these children in a negative world, that we're very careful. If we had we go out of our way to make sure drugs would not enter our house. We do everything we possibly can to make sure that a drug wouldn't come into our house, cocaine or marijuana or crystal meth. And yet we're paying, and a lot of times we're paying over $100 a month for this drug to sneak its way in, and we don't even think of it as that. We think of it as entertainment. It's a babysitter. And we've got to be very careful in what we're doing. Zig Ziglar, he says if he was a young man raising his children again, he would not have a TV in his house, and I think he's probably correct. I know a lot of things I like to watch, but do you weigh the benefits? Do I like to watch the ball game enough to poison my child? Just be real careful. I think we can have the TVs in our houses, but I think we need to be really careful on what our children are doing because, what they get from all of this is really affects a lot of their decisions and their choices. So think that over as you move through today. Spend today with your family. It's Super Sunday. Thanks as always for tuning into the Daily Echo. We're going to start the week tomorrow, Magnificent Monday, and have a great week. Thanks again.